Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's clip, what we are going to do is we are going to quickly pick the playoff series, the Boston Celtics against the Philadelphia 76ers. Clint is not here to discuss it with me, so you're just going to have to listen to me rant for 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going to talk about this series and who we think is going to win this series. Let me know in the comments down below who you think is going to win, how many games, and why. And I'm sure we're all going to be kind of on the same page here. But let's talk about the Celtics and 76ers real quick. So in the season, the series matchup was 2-2. The Celtics are second and fourth in offense and defense, and the 76ers are 16th and 17th offense, defense. The Celtics were better in pace, true shooting, and rebounding this season in comparison to the 76ers. So this series, I think it's going to be fun, but not long, right? There's going to be moments. You got Maxey, George, you know, on one side, and then you got the Brown, Tatum, White, and all the young players with an opportunity to grow in the playoffs, whether it's moving forward after this year or even like the journey through the playoffs, which we'll talk about when it comes to the Celtics. Some of the young players that I'm kind of looking forward to see how they perform, because like other than White, Tatum, and Brown, it's funny how much the Celtics are relying on their young players in these playoffs, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's start with the matchups. What matchups I'm looking forward to? I'll mention two. First of all, the White Maxey matchup. Offense, defense, right? How well is White going to play offensively? I guess he's been struggling from the 3-point line. But he's still a really great defender. He's got the challenge probably to guard Maxey. Maxey's quick, he's fast, he's basically got an awesome first step, and when he's going, he's just hard to stop. So it's not like we expect anyone in today's NBA to stop any other player. We just want them to slow him down or make him work. So can White make Maxey work enough where at the end of the games Maxey has a hard time performing? I think that's an interesting matchup to watch. The other matchup that I put down is really the forwards versus the forwards. Kelly Oubre and Paul George against Brown and Tatum. I think especially when, it's the last 5 minutes, if the game's close at that time, it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup unfolds. Although I think we all kind of know there's a clear winner to that matchup because of the youth, athleticism, and just the quality of player at this point in each of their careers. Brown and Tatum should win that matchup, but it is going to be interesting to watch, because if the 76ers are going to make this series a long series, those two forwards, Paul George, Oubre, they have to come out and they have to perform. Now, another aspect of the series that we're going to have to watch is, when does Embiid come back, if he comes back? It's probably going to be like game 3 or 4 if he does come back. But nobody really knows. So that'll be interesting also, in my opinion, to watch out, because that could change the dynamic in the series a little bit. I don't know if it will change the outcome of the series, but I do think obviously having Embiid on the floor is better than not having him on the floor, and that's a big deal. The X factor. Let's talk about a couple X factors. And what I just put down for X factors is young guys on both sides. So like Barlow, can he play real playoff minutes for the 76ers? They're going to need him to do that. Bona, right? And VJ Edgecombe. Those guys have to make an impact for the 76ers in order for the series to end up going, like deep into the game 6 and 7. If those players are unplayable, I don't think the series will last very long. And I know it's like, well, duh, but it's the young players. We never know, because the lights get brighter, right? I think we saw a little bit of that with the Hornets this past week, how they're shooting, and then against Orlando, being a young, inexperienced team, how that can affect young players. I think we'll see that a little bit with some of the 76ers. And then you got the other side of the ball, where you have Keita you have Walsh, you have Shireman, and you have Hugo Gonzalez, all kind of playing big minutes for the Celtics. I think people kind of forget they're young. They haven't played in the playoffs. White, Brown, Tatum, we got those guys in Pritchard, but the other guys, inexperience. Not only is the series important for them, to show up because of this series, but I think it's also important for them to show up because going to the NBA Finals, you got to be able to play those guys. And if they can play those guys, oh my goodness, the Celtics are going to be just a monster moving forward into the next round and into the next round and into the NBA Finals. So my X factors for this series are the young guys. Which young guys show up, make the veterans' lives easier, and depending on that will determine, I think, how far this series goes down the road. Let's go ahead and pick this series. Clint picked 4-1 Celtics. I also will pick 4-1 Celtics. I think that the Philadelphia 76ers can steal one at home. Me and my friend Luke, big Paul George fan, we're going to go to game 3 in Philadelphia, so that's going to be super fun. And so I hope they win that game. But I just think, even if Embiid comes back, maybe you can extend it to 4, but he's not going to, I don't know how much in shape he's going to be coming off of an appendicitis surgery. So I just think the Celtics are the better team. I think they're going to win. And Kata and the Drummond thing, I just think, there's not an advantage there for, in my opinion, for the 76ers without Embiid, because Kata really showed up this year, and he's another young guy to watch out for. I didn't mention him. But anyway, Celtics in 5, that's what I have. So that's what we have for the prediction. So thanks so much for listening to me rant for a couple minutes. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you have in this series? How many games? Why? And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.